11150 Fairfax Boulevard.
All right, we ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, so where are we going, David?
We're going to the Virginia Rehabilitation Center for the Blind to pick up my technology for college.
Wow. What are they going to give you? Do you know?
I'm not exactly sure what equipment they have today, but I think it's my computer, and I'm not sure if I'm getting another thing at some point or not. But so far, it's my computer.
Do you know what kind of computer it is?
No, but it's supposed to be better than the one I'm using now, and it's supposed to have JAWS. So.
What is JAWS?
JAWS is a screen reader developed by Freedom Scientific that helped me basically see my computer screen.
Is that Windows?
Yep.
And why do you get a computer?
Because I'm going to have to do most of my schoolwork on it, and I will be sending and receiving schoolwork via email and having to do. And I'm also probably going to study something related to computers in college.
How do you get the materials for the course materials, like books and stuff like that, and lesson notes and syllabus and all that?
Well, most of that stuff is online, so I can access that through the internet because I have a screen reader, and then I can also email my professors, and they can send me things needed. And yeah, basically.
So you say it's online, but these textbooks, like the textbooks, are they
Most of them should be an ebook.
in ebook format? So you need it in ebook format?
Yeah.
And then do you access it by audio, or do you use Braille, or how do you do that?
Well, I'd probably have my screen reader read it, and if that's not possible and it is an audio, then I'll just have to use audio. I'll have to use something like Learning Ally because they might have some books on there. And Learning Ally is basically just a service that collects textbooks and stuff and has volunteers read them.
Volunteers read them?
Uh-huh.
Do you have to still buy the textbook?
It depends. Some companies will make you buy like the printed version, even though you don't need it, even though I don't need it. But they'll include the ebook. In order to make money off of it, they have to make you buy it.
That's so. Like a lot of students can rent a book,
Yeah.
or they can even buy a used book.
Yep.
But you can't do that, right? Because you wouldn't have access if you bought a used book. You wouldn't have access to the electronic copy because you'd have to buy it directly from the company at full list price, right?
Unless it came with like a CD or something. I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, I don't think most of them come with DVDs or CDs or anything like that. And then how do you access the like illustrations and pictures and stuff like that in the textbook?
Well, a lot of those are just they're just examples. A lot of those aren't as important unless it's something to do with like science or math, in which case I'll probably ask for Braille copies.
So how are you going to get the help you need?
By asking for it, by going through the Office of Disabilities or any assistive technology lab, by talking to my professors and working out with them, things like that.
And then how do you like if you're going to a lecture, how do you take notes?
I'll be either using my computer, or if I get I've asked for a Braille note taker, so if I get one of those, I'll probably be doing it that way.
So what kind of Braille note taker, what do you have now?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything? Why?
Because my high school paid for it, and so I had to give it back to them.
So
the technology is very expensive, so...
so when you're in high school, the county's paying for it,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
you're getting the resources from the county, but when you graduate,
Yep.
and you're not in the county system anymore, then
I have to-
they take it back.
Yep.
And then you're on your own. Well, so how much does what kind do you use, like a Braille note or something?
Braille note, they cost around $4,000 to $5,000.
$4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
And so who's supposed to pay for that?
Well, I'm asking the Virginia Rehabilitation Center to pay for it because, hopefully I'll be able to pay that back when I get my degree and stuff,
So they would ask you to pay it back?
Well, no, not in money, but, in terms of contributing to society because they're basically paying for it so that I can get a degree and so that I can, do, it's essentially like a faith kind of thing, I guess, So, but they do have the, I think what they do is I get to keep it, but they can take it, they'll, like if I'm not careful with it or something, they can take it back within 2 years, and after 2 years, I think it's mine. So.
But you don't have one now.
Yep.
And why? Why don't you have one now?
What do you mean? You just asked that. I had to give it back.
No, but I mean now you're going to college, and you don't have a Braille, you don't have a note taker, and you're going to have to go into class and take notes, which you could do with a computer, but that would not be as convenient, right? As just being able to, like a sighted person could just take notes on paper, or or just even like a notebook or something. But in order for you to take notes, you either have to pull up a full-up computer or use a note taker.
I'll probably have a computer in class anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal.
Yeah. A lot of times people don't like you to have a big old computers or.
Well, I'll get accommodations, and hopefully that'll be one of them.
So yeah, that's true. So the note takers are $5,000.
Yep.
So why are they so expensive?
Because they're not really in demand, and they're only geared toward a certain population. And because they have assistive technology over it, even though most of them are using outdated software. But since it's specialized for blind people, then, they have to raise the price quite a bit.
Well, you've looked at that orbit reader, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's a small thing, but maybe we can do a video on that sometime, because we bought one of those on our own. It wasn't $5,000, but it's got a lot of shortcomings and things, right?
Yeah.
But at least one thing they have done is got the price down a little bit. So I think that was like $500 or something for the first round of these orbit readers. But you've used that, right? But your sister has that because she got it through a grant.
Yep.
And so, so right now you don't have a note taker, and you hope to get a note taker. Now these people today that you're going to see for your computer, do they have note takers?
I'm not sure. I put in a request for one, so I don't know if I'm getting it today or if I'll have to talk to them about it. Because I would want one, because Braille is important to me, especially. So,
Why is Braille important to you?
Well, because I'll be doing math and stuff, so the Braille is like way easier. It's way easier to comprehend when doing things like that, of that nature.
Now, when we get here, like if you had taken an Uber or something, you just have to tell the driver to take it to show you where the front door is.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm just going to drop you off like I was an Uber driver and point you to the door. So
Can you see inside? Because I'm going to need to find the elevator.
yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe you can find it yourself, or maybe you can find somebody else, or make sure you find it. Go to the 5th floor.
Yeah.
Suite 520.
502.
502. It's always a good test. Hannah and I went to a building the other day, and the the elevator. There were no braille signs, no braille on the elevators. It was crazy because had she been on her own, she wouldn't have been able to find access to getting in and out independently into that building.
Yeah.
So I'd expect this one has it because they have the Division of Blind Services in the building.
Yeah, well,
So my expectation is that this building will actually have
something.
their signs for accessibility.
Unfortunately, you can't always count on that.
Unfortunately, you can't always count on that. So you have to have, backup plans and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. You have to either ask for assistance or there's probably some technology that'll be able to help in the future.
Here we are. Pull up right in front of the building, okay? And I'm just going to park right in front as if I was the Uber driver. Can you let him do it?
Oh,
Do that?
sure.
Go ahead. Tell her where you're going. If you want to tell her where,
4.
you're going to 4, okay. He's going to 5, so you got to push 4 and 5.
Right. Okay. I don't see it. Oh, here's one. Where's the button for though?
Fourth floor, going up. That's how you do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fifth floor.
What's it say?
It says, visitor, please use the doorbell. Doorbell on your right. And let's see. They said it's black. Oh, there's the doorbell.
What's up top there?
Where?
Above that sign.
Oh. 502. Okay, this is our place. So